Hello, everybody. Here we
Actually,
are.
no. We got to start with goodbye, everybody. Have a great time. We'll see you next
Just
week.
in case we do exactly what we did
No,
last week.
that's for last week.
Well, whatever, right?
It wasn't hard. Push the flip button, not the stop button.
Yeah, considering one is red and the other isn't.
Well, no, they're both white. See, they're both white.
Where's the stop button? Don't touch it.
This one.
Okay.
It's the big red button when you're ready to
Oh,
start.
I see. Okay. Well, anyway.
That's how we knew we screwed up, because the big red button
So,
popped up.
anyway, good thing happened to me this morning between a couple of not so great things. But because I spent so much time waiting at the bank this morning, I thought, and it's right next door to Starbucks, because, I like to give myself an excuse to go to Starbucks. I went in there and I ordered a coffee and a sandwich so I could have some lunch, because I was in no mood to make lunch this morning. Get up to the cash register, and the woman ahead of me had already paid. So to whomever it was, just in case you happen to see this or somebody knows you, thank you very much. You put a bright spot into my day today, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's nice when those things happen.
It does. It does.
is.
That's about the third time it's happened to me at Starbucks. And each time it's just, it makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside, because it just reinforces what I've always said. There's more good people out there than the other type, and we have to focus on those type.
There we do.
Yeah.
That we do. All right. So we got a bunch of things.
We do.
So first off, we can talk classes and upcoming classes and announcements, or we can talk about my new favorite product that just came in.
Okay, we'll talk about your new favorite product.
So everyone knows I'm a big embroiderer.
Yes.
Okay, just in case you didn't, guess what? I'm a big embroiderer. One of the products that we've been using quite a bit is the woven iron-on fusible stuff called SF101, or else Kimberbell has a version of it called fusible backing. So we brought in a new product because there could be some issues with SF101. We've heard some different things and this and that, and so the company is going through transition, and what happens on the end of the transition, we don't know. So we've been looking for other sources, and our supplier says, I got something really cool in, and so they sent us some, and it's called Presto. It's the same stuff as, does the same thing. I love this stuff. I think out of all of them, this one's my favorite. A couple of different reasons. SF101 and Kimberbell comes at 20 inches. Presto comes at 30 inches. So if you're cutting out a lot of blocks, you have less waste. Yeah. And by waste, I mean, you're not wasting them. I keep all of those pieces for all my smaller things. But when you're cutting out blocks with 30 inches, if you're cutting out a 6-inch block, you're getting 5 instead of 3 and some waste. But it's also $10 a meter compared to $16 for the SF101. So you're saving $6 a meter.
Yeah. More when you think that you have more.
Well, and there is, it is more in the savings, but just straight across meter for meter.
Yeah.
And then that, it's like a $10 savings. Plus you're getting more. Or $6 savings. So you're getting more. I am very happy. I got to play with it on the weekend. And so you guys seen my big tree skirt, the snowman. Well, I love doing the tree skirts. And so my kitchen, and I get laughed at for this, is because I'm bipolar. Not to me. It just, I can never decide on what I like for Christmas. Okay, sorry, multiple personalities. There we go. That's the right one. Okay, so I'm also blonde. Okay, we'll go there. But I have multiple personalities, and so I can never decide on what I like for Christmas decorating. So I solved the problem a few years ago, and I just picked different decorating themes for different rooms. So my living room, or my main room downstairs. Yes, I am one of those, and I proudly wear the t-shirt. Actually, it'd be the Santa hat. I'd probably wear the Santa hat. So my living room downstairs is blues and silvers with a snowman theme. And actually, I love nativity, so I throw those in it everywhere, whether they fit or not. So that's downstairs in the front entrance. And then in the family room upstairs, it's the country theme. So it's green and red plaids and country and reindeer and just anything country-ish. And then my kitchen is candy colored gingerbread. So like the pinks and the greens and the
okay. I'm glad you clarified.
Yes.
I was having trouble there.
So I'm doing the tree skirt, but I'm not doing it as a tree.
Oh, I was going to say you have a tree in your kitchen?
If I could, I would. So I'm going to sneeze here, so excuse me if I go and sneeze here in a minute. But the tree skirt has,
Bless you.
thank you, has a gingerbread one. And so I'm making the smaller ones, and it'll have the bottom piece here. And so instead of putting it as a tree skirt, I'm going to finish each one off as a wall hanging, and I'm going to put them on all of my cupboard doors. And wouldn't you know it, I have 15 cupboard doors. So I have...
so friggin' cute.
It is! And then, I know you're being sarcastic, but I'm just going to take it at face value. And then my window where my sink is kind of like a little bay window. And so OESD has the gingerbread village. So I'm making those. So I've got my little gingerbread village there. And it just looks so stinking cute. So adorable. She's okay. Now you're mocking.
I'm tearing up.
Yeah,
Let
you
me
should.
See. Let me
But
see.
anyway,
I want to
so
see the ginger. I
it's
want
cute.
to see this. Oh, okay.
But so
All
the
right.
Presto, I got.
Oh.
I
And
use.
this is woven.
It is, yeah. It's the same as the SF-101.
It's got good sticking power.
It does. It took very little for me to adhere it, so I could go faster. Because I'm all about speed. I have very little time. I have a lot to get done in a very short period of time. Hence why
Got a long way to go.
M17, the biggest selling feature for me is that it goes way faster than my 15,000.
Does it?
It does. One of the selling features is like it goes faster. Yeah. So, but yeah, so the Presto 101 is amazing. So we have some in. You need to come in and get it. And then if we're sold out, we got more coming because
good.
I've been really pushing it because
Try and
it's
beat me
amazing.
to it.
All right.
All right.
So, we have a Halloween sale.
Yes, we do.
I grabbed some fabrics because
Yes.
we have to. Okay, so please.
You know us with our fabric.
Yes,
Look at
okay.
The Grinch.
We have Grinch ones. Like there's different Grinch.
That's
Well, sorry, this is Cat in the Hat.
Yes. Oh, yeah, pardon me. Yeah,
Sorry.
well, same thing.
Yeah. So
Dr.
it's got
Seuss.
Dr. Seuss. So we got Cat in the Hat. There's other different ones. But I thought these were so cute. So, yes, I'm going home with these ones today. I am not a gnome person. Okay. I did watch the movie Gnomes. That was kind of funny. But anyways, but I'm not a big gnome person. But you got to see this stuff. Like, look at that. It is stinking cute.
I think the gnomes are adorable. Oh, look at the purple beard. Oh,
yeah, like
my
they've got
goodness.
the purple beard, got the green beard.
Yep.
And then that, and then, so this is so cute. And then I thought, this one, if you're not really into the scary stuff and you're more of a floral person, we got that
You
too.
can have floral skeletons.
Maybe the skeletons want to look pretty.
Do you think?
I think.
Do you think they have any brain power to sort that out?
I don't know, but maybe they want to look pretty.
I'm pretty sure they don't, but that's okay.
And then we have so many of these ones, like where it's like the gray, white tone on the black in so many different, like we've got these, we've got those, still the eyeball ones that glow in the dark.
Yeah.
I want to get some, and I'm going to make some like boxers for my kids. Yeah, that would help. So like,
They'll glow. Oh, dear Lord. Just let them, don't tell them. And so the first time they...
of course you do things like that to my children. And then we still have some of the Kimberbell stuff for the Kimberbell.
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, I did write it down. I've got so many Kimberbell things.
Picking pumpkins
Yeah,
or
something.
something.
The ladder quilt.
Yes.
I bet you if I look at this, it might even tell me. Pumpkins and potions. There
we go. I was completely
So we
off.
have so many, like, lots of different ones that are here.
Yes,
and
exactly.
It's going to be so cool. So we have
So that's on sale.
25% off, minimum 1 meter cut.
Yes.
Half a meter.
Half a meter.
Minimum
Pardon
half
that.
meter, yes.
No, we don't know what we're doing, but that's okay.
Sorry, a half meter is useless to me. It's like, I did the cardinal sin. When I buy fabric, I buy lots and then I don't want to ever use it. But so I use little bits and pieces. But I bought this one.
Yeah.
It's the shimmer pink, and it's been sitting on my dresser for a while, or my shelf for a while, because I don't want to use it. But I wanted to use it for this, and so I started cutting it up and how much I needed. I didn't calculate, and I go, I got this much left. I cried.
I know that feeling. I
didn't want to
have a
use
thing
it.
about fabric, like collecting fabric and sewing fabric.
Two different
They're
things.
two different hobbies.
They are.
Yeah.
You buy it because you like it, and then you don't want to
exactly,
use it.
yes.
That's why I buy so much of it, so I
Yes.
can use a little bit and still not use my fabric.
So at this time of year, we have a few stats coming up. So just to give you a heads up, there's a stat this coming Monday. Surrey will be open. The store will be open. Country Folk will not. That's our store in Chilliwack. And Burnaby, they're always closed on Monday.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then dealer exclusive next week.
Next week.
That is the cookie.
It feels early.
It feels early every year. Like, I don't know what it is. I think right now life is on fast forward because all of a sudden
the world moves far too rapidly towards
right
the
now.
end of the year. Yeah. There's just too much going on.
So we have the dealer exclusive. It's the cookie.
Yes.
Or
It's the
cookie tester mug rug.
Yeah.
So that's coming up. That's one of my favorite ones. It's Thursday next week here in Surrey, and on the Saturday in Country Folk.
The Christmas Twinkle Tree class is our first upcoming class that still has space. Everything else is booked and full. So everything between now and the 25th of October is booked. So this is the only thing, and it's only got 2 openings. So if you were ever interested in doing the Twinkle Tree, and maybe we'll just pass by it as we're headed over to our Tech Talk, and you can have a look at it because the lights are flashing, and everybody, we'll flash you today.
All right. We have the tote bag. That's that 2-part class coming up. That's October 28th to 29th. And we'll maybe flash that one too. Stocking Day. Don't forget about stockings.
Yes.
We have been very remiss in reminding everyone about our Stocking Day, but also the contest or the thing we got. We are collecting stockings for the Christmas bureaus. So the store that you bring them into will be the one that the city you'll be supporting.
Mm-hmm.
We need to start getting them in. The rules are on there. You get points for each one you bring out. We need to start filling our wall behind us with those stockings. We'd love to see them before we get them in there.
We love
Christmas is coming faster than you guys realize. Really.
Exactly.
We are at the middle.
Where's Tom to tell us the days? He's not here.
He should be around here somewhere. He is, but we're in the middle of October already.
Yes.
And the Christmas Bureau is going to be opening up probably in a couple of weeks. They usually open towards the beginning of November, so they have time to so we want to start getting these socks in there early because these people do come in that need it early.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
This is just a stat, and it's kind of a depressing stat, but it just kind of reflects it's probably going to be roughly about the same for the Christmas Bureau. So I was listening to the radio the other day, and they're doing a big push for the Surrey Food Bank. So just things are so tough. right now, if you're on the bottom end of the scale, things are getting really hard at that. And even that bottom end, it used to be here. It's like up here now. The Surrey Food Bank is up with demand, up 25% from last year.
Wow.
Which last year was up 25% from the year before. So they are up 50% in need for the last from 2 years ago. So if you think that the Surrey Food Bank, the Christmas Bureau is going to be the same, their demand is up. And so I know things are tight for a lot of different people or whatever, and making some stockings from scraps you have, or we usually have the Christmas fabric on sale and things like that, or just, again, it doesn't have to be Christmas themed if
no, exactly, but like even if you make it out of, and I did a few of them were just strips. I had strips and just cover a stocking and then put the backing can be any color.
So they're not very expensive to make, but it could be a big difference for somebody, especially for those who this is the first year they've had to do this, because despite their best efforts, it wasn't enough. And they're already feeling horrible because, that they have to do this, that they have to ask for help. This just might just lift them up just a little bit more than, that somebody took the time to make something and to help them make their Christmas for them or their kids.
Make it just a little bit better,
a little bit
easier.
So it doesn't take much.
Or in some cases, something that just gives them something. So
all right, that's our tearjerker at the moment.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. And next class after that is Thrill of Hope.
Oh, you're on here. Okay, I got this done. Look.
Isn't that
I'm starting
lovely?
to sound like Peanut. I've been watching him for a little bit. You know who Peanut is? Jeff
Jeffafa.
Dunham.com.
That will never not be funny.
All right. So, isn't it pretty?
It is beautiful.
Like, it turned out lovely.
Love it.
I just have to put the binding on, or the backing on and stuff like that. So it should be up in the store. It would have been this week, but my family. So I have to finish this off.
Okay.
So so that's coming up. So we're all excited. All right. So
now, Joel's
got our tech
We're going
talk.
to head to Joel.
Yes. All right. So we're going to
Stop at the tree.
We're going to flip it. You're going to watch me and make sure I flip it right. Because we're not doing this twice. All right. All right. So there's the twinkling tree. Everyone's been flashed. There's the bag. All right. So our feet wall just... There you go. We got a lot of feet. Which leads us to what Joe's going to talk to us about is feet-ish.
Feet. Yes. So one of the things that we've been noticing with a lot of the machines that's come in for service lately is tension problems. People are complaining about tension issues on just regular straight stitch zigzag stitches. But they have the wrong foot on. And it's a very subtle thing. So if we take a look, this is a standard zigzag foot. And the way to identify that is you've got your wide needle slot, and then the bottom of the foot is going to be completely flat. There might be a little notch in there, but generally the bottom of your foot's going to be completely flat, like that. And this is almost always going to be a metal foot. Sometimes you'll have a little bit of a plastic window here, but it will always be this very similar to this. Now, what we often see, and the reason that it's flat is it keeps the fabric pressed nice and flat to your feed dogs, so that as your needle comes back up, it doesn't lift the fabric with it. So it pulls the thread tight and gives you a nice consistent tension. What we sometimes see is the satin stitch foot is equipped. And this foot, I don't have a metal one to show more. Oh, I do have a metal one to show more distinctly here. there's a groove down the middle of it. And you can really see it when you look at it on the edge. So the sides of the foot press tight against the feed dogs, but the middle don't. And the reason you'd use that is if you're doing satin stitches or like decorative stitches with a lot of overlap, your thread can build up quite thick, and that allows it to pass smoothly underneath. But if you're just doing a straight stitch, what happens is your needle goes down, comes up, lifts your fabric, and pulls your thread tight in a bit of a weird way. So there's a few different types of satin stitch feet that we see, and this is actually a much more extreme example. This is a candle wicking foot for making like the I don't know if we have one here that shows exactly what it does, but it's a fancy type of stitch that you can do. And then it's also an open toe foot like this, which allows you to really easily see exactly what you're about to sew. If you're doing like applique or something like that, you can get it lined up nice and close right up to your needle. And then we've got another very similar looking foot. This is actually very similar, in fact almost identical to your regular zigzag foot, but it's made out of Teflon, and that's going to be used for slippery fabrics, or that will sticky fabrics. Sorry about that. It'll be used for sticky fabrics, like your vinyl and leather and stuff that can get stuck under the needle. But if you're using it with regular cotton fabrics, it might actually cause you to not be able to feed very well. It might just slip a little too much, and you end up getting side to side and wandering and that kind of thing. The next type of foot you might be tempted to use if you don't have your zigzag foot handy is just one of these little roller feet. These are great for more slippery materials. Or cars. I used to, as a kid, love playing around with these because they look like little go-karts to me. And the one that came with my with my sewing machine looks really like a go-kart. You can see all four little wheels and everything like that. It's fun. I have a blast playing with it. My cat loves it too. And you might think, oh, you know what? I'm having a little bit of trouble feeding. Let's use the roller foot. But again, you'll notice if you look at it on the side, there's a little gap. So it's not going to press completely flat on your fabric the whole way. So if you're, again, sewing just regular cotton fabrics, you're going to get some inconsistent tensions, uneven tensions, because again, as your needle comes back up, it's going to lift the fabric while pulling the thread tight without just pulling the thread tight. And then there's a couple other interesting feet that we have here. This is a really interesting one. I just found out about this one today. It is a double layer foot, or what do they call it? Multi-layer foot? 2-layer foot? Something like that. It's for if you have like an uneven layer of fabric. So you're sewing on, say, you got your fabric here, and then you've got a really thick seam. So you got like 1 layer and then 4 layers of fabric. So you'll have the thin layer on the left side.
See,
Maybe
there,
get that a little closer, yeah.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah.
And that'll allow you to get some nice even pressure on both the thin side and the thick side of your seam. Now, this is much more of a specialty foot, but, again, we have seen occasionally people will use a foot like this and thinking that it looks just like a normal zigzag foot, and then wonder why, our tensions are off. What's going on? And again, it's just because you're not providing even pressure on the fabric. Another one that we saw come in complaining of tensions, they were using a piping foot. And with this one, you can see there's great big channels under there for carrying your pipe. But again, if you're sewing on regular flat fabric, that's not going to provide very good pressure. In fact, your feed dogs may even be coming up right in between the gaps, and then you're not going to have any feeding either. So there's all sorts of considerations when figuring out which foot to use. And then this last one is just a kind of a fun one that you might wonder what it's for. Every machine seems to come with one, and it's just a button sewing foot. So what you do is you drop your feed dogs, and then you can put the button underneath like this, and it'll just do a couple stitches back and forth, and sew your button to your fabric.
That's pretty cool.
That's a fun little one. But yeah, the main takeaway from all of this If you're ever having issues with tension and you're just sewing on regular standard materials, if you're piecing or whatever, just make sure that you're using the correct foot. For piecing, that kind of thing, obviously 1/4 inch foot you might be using, but if you're just going freehand, make sure that you got your regular standard zigzag foot or a straight stitch foot that has a nice flat, even bottom to it.
Perfect. All right, so I'm going to flip this around. There we go. Didn't work last week. I hung up on ourselves. All right, yeah. So if you have any questions, come in about and talk to us about feet, because it's important. The more you use the correct foot, the better your project's going to be, because it's not really a one foot fits all.
No, I mean, you look at how many different types of feet we have. Of these feet, they're all different. They're all for different purposes. Some of them are the same type of foot for different machines.
Yeah, see, that's baby lock.
But, and sometimes you have front load, top load, 9mm, 7mm, that kind of thing. But you've got all sorts of different types of feet.
And then we got Janome. We got all of the different feet that come in.
Quilt binding foot. What's this one? This one looks fun.
Quilt binding foot?
Quilt binding foot.
We might have to come and play around with some feet.
I think we are. Oh, that looks like the same as the multi-layer foot. But
yes.
A little bit closer to the edge.
There you go.
Well.
See, we can play around with all these
even
things.
I'm learning stuff here.
There we go. All right, we're going to wander back. Get flashed again. Sometimes we just, a little excitement. And I manage. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. I managed to flip a couple of times and not hang up.
There we go. We're very proud.
We should be. We should be proud. So we get to say goodbye today.
Yes.
And Annette.
And we'll see you next week. And hope you learned something about the feet.
Yes.
There's so many. So that probably will not be the only time.
No, we'll definitely be talking more feet and all this kind of stuff, because that's just a quick overview of how tension is affected by the foot.
Yes.
But it doesn't really tell us, okay, like your zigzag foot, what all would you use your zigzag foot on? What all would you use this foot on? What all would you use that foot on? So there's just so many layers of knowledge.
Yeah.
So we're just starting off simple. There's tensions off. Make sure you're using the right foot.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. All right, go enjoy the sun.
Yes, get out there. Maybe clean up your yard a little bit, because we have a little bit of time left.
Yeah.
And then the rains will come.
And that's
Still better than the snow.
Either way,
As far as I'm concerned.
all right.
Alrighty.
Have a good day. All right. Bye.